Hey, it's Domain Dave from cheapwinefinder.com. Another wine review for a wine we wrote up on the cheapwinefinder.com website like we do 3 times a week. Today we've got a closeout wine from Costco. It's available other places, although the 2019 vintage might not be. This is a $7.89 wine from Costco, and the 89 cent typically at Costco means it's a special deal from the winery or the distributor or whatever. And this is the Penfolds Koonunga Hills Shiraz Cabernet 2019. So Penfolds, just might be, and not that I'm, an expert on the greatest Australian wineries, but they make the Grange. If you haven't heard of the Grange is one of the top red wine blends of the world, and it can sell for up to $400. They have this program. They go out every so often in certain towns, and you bring your collection. Usually you have wine in a cellar, some temperature-controlled cellar. You might bring in a case or two, and they check everything out. They check the cork, and if their cork is getting old because you only have 23 years and you're going to put it away for 35 years, they might replace the cork and place the foil on top. It's a whole thing. And it's one of the great wines of the world, and this is their entry level. The Koonunga Hills is a vineyard in Barossa Valley, which is in South Australia. And this wine is Shiraz Cabernet. In Australia, they always, the lead wine goes first, second wine, you can always tell. We don't know the proportions here, but we know what wine has the most grape in it. And it's from everywhere. It's Vale. It's from like 7 different growing regions in South Australia. And South Australia is just a huge growing area. And Penfolds has been around since 1844, and the Koonunga Hills line of wines from 1976. So this is a well-established, really good winery making this wine. So why is the 2019? I think the current vintage is 2021. And I don't know exactly, but I think this might be a COVID wine. It probably got released, it was 2019, it was 10 months, sometime in 2021. All the wines from Australia didn't get through the ports. The ports were held up. It couldn't get here. Even though the wine shops and liquor stores were open during COVID, that was one of the things you could get to. The vintages started getting stacked up. And they're especially from, in California or Washington or Oregon, you can get wines in, but the other wines, there were lost vintages. And that's what I suspect this is, a lost vintage. And give it to Costco to get rid of it, just so, because you got to. You can't, these things will last about 7 years, but you really don't want them to last 7 years. You want to drink them sooner than later. So there you go. So this is a wine that never got its due, and now you can get it for these wines cost between 10 and 14 out there. These are, like I said, these are the entry levels. It is actually produced by Penfolds. This is no weird thing. It's not as a estate wine, or at least there's not a lot of estate grapes in there. But Penfolds makes it. They make a lot of their estate wines are bin this and bin that, which is just the section. And so this is a really good wine. They make it forever. Penfolds knows what they're doing. I'm gonna take a sip. That's nice wine. Shiraz is Syrah wine. Australians just call it something different. And this is kind of like everywhere else. It's Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, 2 grapes that go together. This Cabernet Sauvignon can usually use a splash of something to tone it down. And here, the 2 great red grapes of Australia are Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon. So they put the 2 of them together, and it works. This is a medium to medium, little over medium wine. It's got good structure. It's got tannins. This is not a dumbed down wine. Not that you get that as much as you used to. We've been doing this for 15 years. And a lot of times inexpensive wines would be lowest common denominator wines, but nowadays, not really anymore. I mean, they might go for certain, certain tastes, but it's a real wine. And this one's a real wine. It's got tannins. It's got good acidity. It's got good flavor. It's got structure. Red berry, some licorice, cranberry, blueberry, maybe dried strawberry, plum, mocha, dusty tannins. Yeah, that's good. This is a wine that on a cool evening is great for sipping. And on the flip side, this is like one of the wines you'd pour for any comfort food. You got pizza, you got burgers, you got tacos, you got burritos. This thing would kill. So there you go. It's the Penfolds Koonunga Hills Shiraz Cabernet 2019. It might be a lost vintage, and Costco might be hooking you up to a good bargain. So there you are. This is Domain Dave, cheapwinefighter.com. Like us where you like your podcast, if you will. And there's always more. We've been having good wines after the other. It hasn't been a clunker in a while. I've been pretty happy to drink these wines. So there you go. Adios. Keep it cheap. Stay cool. And I'll be talking to you in a couple days. Bye-bye.